Hello and welcome to the Linebreak Rugby podcast with me, your host Sav. Today we have Wallopy Joe, or Ed, and Fred, our Frenchman. The rest of us are English because we're boring like that.
Bonjour.
Hello.
There we go. The international contingent kind of is here.
Still quite irritated that we never managed to get one done with FOV last week.
Yeah, last week was last week was a disaster. We had a bit of a nightmare last week. We wanted to do we're gonna do a Lions chat, but we wanted a Kiwi as well. But his computer is on the fritz, so it didn't work out.
See how that feels, Ed.
Hey, pardon? Oh right, yeah, I get it because everything I do is shit.
No, not quite.
Yeah, normally it's Ed. Normally it's Ed who has the absolute diabolical internet or phone or everything.
It's not the internet; it's my laptop.
It's the laptop. Yeah.
The laptop.
It's
just
8
dies.
years old, so it's needs burning in a fire.
It's just tradition. Yeah. Even today, you're not even able to record properly.
What? I am able to. Well, no, I can, but we have decided mutually that it's no longer a very good idea.
It's an absolute nightmare. Right, should we talk about the Lions? And we're going to do something special today, but we're going to bring that up a bit later.
Oh,
or do you want to kick off with something special?
I'll kick off with one thing just because it kind of segues in-ish and is related and we probably won't come back to it.
Yeah, go on.
Dan Carter is the newest inductee into the Hall of Fame.
All right, well.
Go Dan Carter.
Did that news come before or after he was just cleared by the French doping agency?
No, wait, he wasn't the doper, was he? I thought he was the drunk driver.
No, he was
he
also...
had a TUC.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was also in there with Emoth and Rokosoko?
Rokosoko.
Yeah.
Rokosoko.
It was like recovery from an injury, like hamstring thing or something, I think.
Yeah.
All above board and legal, but the paperwork was like slow to come out or something.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but the decision from the French doping agency is that they did not cheat. So, good news, I guess.
So, and then now he's in the Hall of Fame. Is he? Do they always get inducted when they're still playing?
Well, I was told when last time round, because Drico was the last one to get inducted, and I was commenting that why did it take so long for Wilco to get a place in? And was assured it was always after players had retired. But it's evidently not the case, because even the article says that he's currently still with Racing.
Well, he could do
Racing is a
something
retirement home, just accept it.
But he could do something quite drastic and still probably be worthy of Hall of Fame, you know?
Well, he was worthy of Hall of Fame
10 years ago.
After 2011, so it's the last 5 years, 6 years.
Well, he didn't play in the World Cup final, did he?
Yeah,
No,
but
he got injured at training.
Yeah.
Was it a groin injury?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't quite make it, but then 2015 made up for all of that.
Yeah, he injured his groin, I think, just after the opener. So New Zealand beat France quite comfortably with Dan Carter running the show, and then he hurt himself just kicking a goal at training.
Oh yeah, how did you feel? So we've just gone off track from even the special thing we can talk about. How did you feel about Tranduc's kicking stats, by the way? Did you have a look at them?
I haven't.
Yes, I read it. I read everything you write.
He's missed barely anything, and like one of the few kicks he missed was like a semi-final or a quarter-final kick to win the game for France.
Really?
So as far as I know, he missed a kick in the World Cup final, but he wasn't a goal kicker. A goal kicker. That's when the French comes back in.
Yeah.
He wasn't a goal kicker at the time. He hadn't trained for it.
They had Parrott and Yashvili doing all the.
Yes, but Parrott had gone off early because of McCaw's knee.
Mm-hmm.
And Yashvili had gone off as well, I think, and it was Dusan who was on. And I'm not gonna. I need to remind everyone that this was his first ever cap, brought in late into the World Cup final when France is 1 point behind.
Was Dusan the player that, when past the ball, tried to volley kick it? And then
no.
That was Boxis.
Boxis. Okay, yeah.
Boxis is a mystery to French. He's so typically French in a way. He was really, really good when he was really young. He got us. He basically beat New Zealand in the quarterfinal. in 2007.
Yeah.
He was exceptional in that, and he was very young. And then he went from some years playing really well with clubs, some year quite poorly. He missed 2 or 3 years ago, I think, he missed a kick for Bordeaux, an easy kick to win the game and make it to the, I don't know what you call it. You could call it a quarterfinal, I guess. Basically, make it to the top 6 of the top 14. And basically, somebody rounded the numbers of how much that missed kick cost Bordeaux, and it wasn't pretty.
Oh, what, in monetary value wise?
Yeah, in dollars, yeah.
It's weird how
or euros.
It's weird how close that gets, and how weird marginal decisions can really affect a club. I think someone missed a penalty in football, and like the next season or the season after, the team got relegated, and it was that if they'd got that penalty, they reckon they'd have got a cash infusion and all of this other stuff, and it just destroyed the whole club.
It's shit happens.
Oh, and there was another one about wasps, but I've forgotten what it was. Anyway, what we need to actually do is discuss what we were going to do, which is which French players would have made the Lions or would make the Lions this year.
That was that was my suggestion. And previous years would be a good shout, because going back, there are some class players that could have easily, players like Vincent Clerc or Sebastien Chabal.
Oh, Chabal would have never made the Lions.
Yeah.
Chabal on tour.
Definitely.
Imagine Chabal
Imagine
on tour.
it.
Chabal barely made the French team. He was never going to make the Lions. Yashvili would have done. Claire would have done. Harry Nordicki would have done.
Oh yeah.
But also it's really difficult because you've got to take into consideration the years. So.
Yeah. Oh, and who else was playing in their positions?
Yeah, exactly. Without.
Because there was. Well, okay.
It's really difficult. Dusatois would have made loads of
noise.
But it's really hard to think. At that time, were they fit? Were they on form?
Yeah,
I think at one point Parra might have been the best 9.
Yes, but in 2009, in 2013, I don't think he was at his best in either of those years. He was probably at his best in 2010, 2011, 12.
2009, he was all right.
He was always all right. He still is.
Yeah.
I can't even remember what was happening in the rugby world in 2009.
Exactly, it's really difficult. Is that the year that? I think it is the year that Ireland won the Grand Slam.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was.
France won it the following year, or at least the championship.
France won the Grand Slam the next year, 2010.
Yeah. I suppose
the French team must have been pretty damn good. I know, obviously, they didn't win the Grand Slam, but the French team must have been pretty good in 2009. You know.
Sure.
What year was it? 2007 that Vincent Clerc broke Irish hearts? The World Cup?
No, it wasn't at the World Cup. It was at Croke Park, so it must have been
Six Nations.
2008, maybe.
Oh, okay, lovely.
No, it was before that.
Because he could definitely have been a Lion.
It was before that, because they were still wearing the
the red swoosh.
No, a previous jersey where it was like a royal blue with
the red armpits.
white under the arms, kind of like the Johnny Wilkinson jersey.
Yeah.
The same one in blue and much nicer.
Oh, if you say so. I suppose it doesn't get as muddy, or doesn't,
Oh, well, actually, he did score a double against Ireland in 2007 in the groups.
I told you.
But that's only a double,
right?
Only a double. He knocked them out, didn't he?
It's not for me. The big heartbreak was at Croke Park when he scored at the last minute.
Yeah.
And broke 3 or 4 tackles to do so.
That's probably what I'm thinking of. Oh,
that was the best one.
So my next question, having
already asked it twice,
having talked about breaking hearts, which French player would have been picked over Brian O'Driscoll?
Easily Fofana.
In 2013, yeah.
Fofana in 2013 was brilliant.
Fofana plays 12, though.
Yeah, but you could just stick Jonathan Davies. Get rid of Jamie Roberts, stick Jonathan Davies in at 13, and then you could still have the outrage
Roberts was different. So Roberts wasn't playing in the first 2 tests.
Didn't he?
Because Davies was playing 12.
Wait, what?
Yeah, in the first 2 tests in Australia, Davies was playing 12 and Bod was playing 13. And then when Jamie Roberts came back, instead of dropping Davies, who was playing 12, he moved him to 13.
He was playing better.
But
he's the best 13 in 12 anyway.
Would Fofana have just started then?
Difficult to say. Really difficult to say.
In fact, what was it? Which was his breakout season? Was it 2012?
2012.
No, earlier than
where
that.
he scored. He scored a try.
Oh yeah,
2012.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It was just after the World Cup.
Yeah.
He got into the squad, and for the first 3 or 4 caps he scored a try for each.
It was 4 tests, and he was the first person to do that in about, I don't know, at least 20 years or so.
Yeah.
And then it was a massive shame when he didn't do it in the last match.
Out of position on the wing.
It was in the way he was doing that gliding round Ashton and Danny Kerr moment.
Oh yeah, that's one of my favourite moments.
That's another year later. That's 2013 maybe.
It was when
2013. That was probably Lyon's
That was
year.
20. I want to say that was 2014 because I'm sure it was a year we lost against France, and I think that was 2014 because 2012 and 13 we lost to Wales. 16 was Ireland. I think 50 was Ireland. 2013. I'm getting it all mixed up. Point is, Ashton missed. In that same run-up for that one try Fofana scored, Ashton missed 2 tackles on him. He missed a tackle, fell over, got up, ran up to him again, missed the other tackle.
It tells you how quick and dedicated he is.
Yeah.
For a guy that doesn't tackle.
No one can ever say that Ashton isn't dedicated, but his actual technique for tackling is not. Is nothing to be particularly proud of. I want to move on to a position that I actually know about and and talk about this year. Let's talk about this year because it is this year.
This year, hookers.
Would Scott Bed? Well, no, we can talk about. We'll talk about like definite positions. I want to talk about 50-50.
Okay.
Would Scott Spedding tour?
Maybe.
Tough. So who's the competition? So he's got competition with Dulin.
Yeah, Dulin, of course. He's got his own position, in France.
I honestly think that fullback at the moment might be one of the most difficult positions to pin down, but not because everyone's so good. It's because they're all as mediocre as each other. Because everyone,
it's a bit harsh on Stuart Hogg.
That's very harsh on Stuart Hogg. I'm just thinking he is prone, and he's prone to the occasional massive fuck up. And his defence is also... Granted, no one's going to excel defensively against New Zealand's back 3, but I feel like of the options in the home nations, he is the weakest in that particular area of his game.
I'd go for... I might actually go for Liam Williams.
Yeah.
Everyone wants him on the wing, though.
No, you don't want him on the wing. CC
oh,
is
yeah, no,
desperate
you're right,
to
aren't
play him
you?
at 15.
Yeah, sorry, that's where he's playing at the moment.
The world is desperate to play him at 15. He's better at 15, and him and Tipuric were the only 2 Welsh players to play well when Wales toured New Zealand.
That's a bit harsh.
Did you see them play the Chiefs? I mean,
I thought you meant the games against the All Blacks. Yeah, the game against the Chiefs was.
I suppose there was also that time where he.
To be fair, they had Stephen Donald.
Yeah,
and
I mean, he wins World Cups. I was thinking with regard to Liam Williams. Granted, you have to go back a bit further, but he also handed the test on a silver platter to South Africa a couple of years ago.
But how old was he then? 19?
He probably still had lightning on his Twitter header.
He definitely still... Does he have lightning nowadays? I mean, we haven't looked recently, have we? But no, okay, so Scott Spedding and Dulin. So I think Dulin might be a better option, even, now that I've thought about it.
What about Maxi Medard?
You missed out. So not long ago, I think 2 weeks ago, Racing decided to have a home game in Lille in the north of France because they don't have any fans locally, so they might as well try and find them elsewhere. And they hosted Clermont, and at one point there was a little bit of a scrap between Dulin and Spedding, and the ref called them and said, "Selection is not going to be done now, so chill out."
That's funny. That
was so good.
I think Spedding would tour. I think, just going by what I remember of the Six Nations,
he's just a bit reliable, isn't he?
He is.
It helps that he doesn't have the language barrier.
No, but I think.
You're not wrong.
I think if you go by his size and the speed he can get up to, he's incredibly destructive in broken play, and I'm sure at least a couple of times in the England game. I don't think he actually did score against us, but I'm sure he got bloody close at times. So yeah, given space, I think he's possibly. I can't think much of nothing Dusan's done is really coming to me at the moment.
I can't. I don't think so. So should we talk about where we think the French would just slot straight in 2017 then? Because I think Spedding might edge it ahead of Halfpenny if we're talking.
I'm not sure Halfpenny
I'm not
sure Halfpenny will tour.
No, that's what I mean. I mean,
because all right, let's check who they're going to take. Like, definitely going to take Liam Williams and Hogg are going.
Yeah.
They're on the plane already.
It's whether he considers him a 15 or a winger.
And now you've got two options that are not full-on 15s, but can play elsewhere and are definitely very good 15s, which are Jared Payne and Elliot Daly, exactly.
Yeah.
What do you think of again, I don't see it as being particularly likely, but do you think Brown has an outside shot at all? Or
Brown has a shot. I don't think he's going to go, but he does have a shot.
Mm.
And so does Halfpenny.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think Halfpenny and Brown's shot are the same, but because obviously Gatlin loves his Halfpenny.
And he's got his kicking. Just in case. If you lose Farrell...
But no, the kicking doesn't seem remotely...
You need someone to kick after the first... Because Sexton's going to kick for 20 minutes before he gets injured, and then you need someone else to do it.
It's... you say that. He did awfully well holding up in the Six Nations, and he still drills all his kicks. Farrell would likely do the same, and... I mean, who else would likely go... who else kicks in the Home Nations?
Daly.
Yeah,
that's
Daly.
true. Well, yeah.
But he doesn't kick for Wasp. He's a long range option. I think he likes he likes to have the pressure off his shoulders. So that's why Spedding also kicks, but just from far away, because they're those players that have a massive boot, and they're thinking.
Hogg has a massive boot,
and Hogg is the same. Yeah, also long range. They don't go for the short ones, because for the short ones you've got the pressure.
Yeah.
If you don't score it, you're losing points. Whereas if it's a far away one, you're not expected to score it, so everything's a bonus, and you don't have the pressure.
Okay, I see. I can see that.
I think that's why you have long distance kickers, because they're probably just as good as the others with some extra range.
Yeah.
But they don't like the pressure just as much.
There's less pressure on them. I mean, Daly does seem to live up to pressure quite well, but yeah, I know what you mean. So I mean, so in terms of 50, so Spedding or Doolan,
Spedding definitely
maybe...
tours.
Okay.
I think I'm thinking backs in general. Mm-hmm. Do you reckon, as it stands at the moment, I reckon Conor Murray is the dead cert to start the test, and most likely Reece Webb will probably be the bench option.
Oh, Serra might.
But Serra could, he's got the potential to be a tourer, if not, an option in the test in the 23.
And he can play 10 as well, because he's French.
Oh, right.
Because he's French. That's how it works.
No, but he actually can. He does for Bordeaux every now and then.
Does he kick? Does he kick? Because most French nines kick.
Of course he kicks. He's French.
Of course he kicks. He's French.
They all do everything. 9 and 10's an interchangeable position, just like 6 and 7.
Yeah. So Bordeaux have another really good 9 called Jan Lesgourg, who used to be Puritz. And whenever they have a problem at 10, they sticks around there and have Lesgourg play 9. Because that's what you do.
That's just what happens.
I remember you mentioned earlier on, and I kind of questioned it because I think we're already a bit stacked in that position. But Fred, where do you stand on? Well, Sav mentioned it. Fred, where do you stand with regards Vakatawa or
Nakatafi literally just did his ACL. I read that on Twitter this morning. Yeah.
Well, shit.
So
Nakatasi confirmed not touring.
because
to be fair, I don't know why I consider an injury as meaning he doesn't tour, where just not being from the home nation is the main reason.
Well, okay, yeah, but in this hypothetical world that we're in, I think he's a slightly more consistent player than Vakatawa.
The British, French, and Irish Lions.
Yeah.
What about the Norman Lions?
The BFI.
Yeah.
Would the Norman Lions work?
We won't open the.
Are we all Normans?
The Italian Pandora's box either.
Get Castro Giovanni on the plane.
No, not him.
Would Canna make it? No, let's leave
Of course not.
No, Kelly Haimona. He could be our other kicking option.
Let's leave the Italians.
Yeah, he'd probably play against old schoolmates.
So I mean, let's break it down, right? The shoe-ins for the French.
Louis Picamoles.
Girardeau.
Oh, front row. Girardeau.
Yeah, I mean those are the shoe-ins because at the moment
I think Girardeau only has one. There's only one guy in Europe that can compete with Girardeau, and that's Jamie George.
Yeah. And not only that, but I feel like although Hooker is full of captains, it's not. And I don't know, the front row is full of experience, but then when you look at it, we've got Kyle Sinclair as a bolter to go possibly. We've then got basically an Irish front row as being the main, front end, and then not much behind it. Like there's a little bit. There's Mako Vunipola is obviously a world class player, but I don't know, that French front row is just looking really, really good right now. I can't see anybody stepping up and perhaps knocking them off being the top spot.
I think you have a gap. You're missing. You have a gap in depth at tight head. You're fine at loose head. You've got Healy, McGrath, Marler, and Vunipola. You've got 4. You're fine at loose head. It's tight head where you've got a problem because you've got Furlong, and that's it.
What's wrong with Cole and Sinclair?
No, Sinclair. I think Sinclair is good. He's a bit raw.
Yeah.
He'll be absolutely amazing in say 2 years.
I think it sums it up that he is a very viable option now. That how.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
You know, it could because he is so young. The fact that he is an option is kind of a bit strange. Like, he's really good.
I would have him on the plane. Of course, I'd have Kyle Sinclair on the plane. Yeah.
But it is indicative that there aren't many other options. You know?
Yeah, and you take Dan Cole. He's been good. He's doing the job. So obviously Dan Cole, I think, is going to be the bench tight head. But if you could have Slimani, you'd take him over Cole any day.
Yeah.
Well, I think he would bump Sinclair off the plane, to be honest with you. Just because that would be 3 very good tight heads, and perhaps you need to bring a young gun to blood him. But
I'd take Sinclair. So if I could take Slimani, I would have Furlong as my number 1.
Yeah.
And Slimani is number 2 or number 1, interchangeable.
And Sinclair.
And I would keep Sinclair as my 3rd, being a bench only option.
He provides more off the bench. Yeah, I can see that because Dan Cole off the bench is not exactly a.
He's a starter.
He's a starting scrummager, isn't he? He's not a off the bench ball runner against tired bodies. No, I get that. That's a good shout. I think we can't underestimate how good Dan Cole is in the scrum. Okay, he's very, very good.
He's a very good player, but he's not Furlong or Slimani.
Yeah.
And he's not Nell either, but Nell is still injured.
I think so.
Yeah. But in this hypothetical world, Nell could be fit as a fiddle. Who knows? Back row, the other options that we've got is obviously Pick.
Are we going straight to back row, are we?
Well, I don't think there's really a second row. Maestri and
Vahamahina.
Yeah,
no,
I just don't think. I mean, the French second row is just not good enough.
Both could make it, but you've got.
You've got a Toje, Launchbury, Cruz,
you've got
Henderson, Toner.
You've got something special, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
There's a big second row contingent.
After the Six Nations we've just had, Kevin Gordon definitely gets in on the. He might tour.
He did have a really good Six Nations.
He was fantastic.
He was brilliant. Tough. He could be such a good impact actually off the bench, because back row for the Lions is going to be so difficult to pick.
In this scenario, Fred, Pick-a-Mole starts and Big Billy comes off the bench.
Yes, probably.
So
no,
Gordon,
Big
Gordon
Billy
would have
gets
to be...
Big Billy gets moved to 6.
No,
Wouldn't
no,
Pick-a-Moles
no,
be
no.
a better 6?
You're not going to take 6 off Standers back.
Yeah, probably not.
No, Standers 7.
No,
he's not.
Standers.
Can we not play with 3 8-men? 3 8-men back row. 3 8-men back row.
I think France have proven that you can, but you shouldn't.
Okay, I Billy, Stander, and Pick-a-Moles on the same team playing at the same time.
I would love that. That would be so funny.
That would be the most dangerous back row.
Well, who comes off the bench then?
I mean, it's kind of what Leinster is doing every now and then. If you've got O'Brien, Conan, and Heaslip playing together, you've got 3 number 8s.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean O'Brien is had 7 etched on his back for a long time, but he does play like a ball running 8. To be fair,
but they have if they won the what people call an out and out 7, which I think is not always necessary. Yeah, they use Van der Fleer.
Yeah, who is also a quality player.
Yeah, but he's not going to talk.
I'd love to watch an all-round. Everybody plays 8. I mean, obviously you'd have to assign them roles.
But what a whole pack full of 8s. Play 8 8-men in the starting 15.
So Heaslip in second row. Who's the tallest? Pick-a-Mole's probably one of the tallest.
Pick-a-Mole's is really tall. Yeah.
Parise could play second row.
Parise can play.
Parise could play like anywhere. He could play hooker and be fine.
Yeah, I don't think we can.
Actually, Billy Vunipola at hooker.
I mean, Mako's basically an 8.
Yeah.
Mako's basically 10.
Yeah, Mako's an all-rounder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
you'd probably make a team of Parises and Makos.
I would play Mako at 9 and Billy at 10.
No, wasn't it the other way round?
No. I'd rather
Billy's got the sweet pass and Mako's got the
French
kick.
have the 9 kicking.
Right.
I'd rather have the better pass of Mako at 9.
I thought because there was
9 always kicks.
Because I'm sure there was in one of the Sarries games a couple of, or maybe it was England, with one of them giving a really nice pass and then the other chick
it was
over the line.
Billy to Mako who kicked it down 60 metres in the middle of the park.
I've said it before. Mako sometimes does kicking training with Farrell, and can drill in slots from the touchline.
Yeah, he can
if
drop.
Farrell and Lazowski get injured, actually Saracens have so many kickers.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's why. Again, you don't need the extra kicking option from Halfpenny if Mako Vunipola's on the pitch in the final 20. So it doesn't need to matter that Sexton goes off injured.
Can you imagine Gatland saying that in the press conference before the third test? It's 1-1, and he goes, well, I was thinking my kicking options, and I've decided to put a non-kicking fullback on because I've got Mako on anyway.
Amazing! I want to live in that world.
Did that just go weird for your Audacity?
It's going weird for me every few minutes.
I didn't hear anything you said.
Excellent.
Right.
Oh, were you speaking?
Let's do.
Should we 1, 2, 3 sync?
Yeah, let's do that. Right. 1, 2, 3
sync. Okay, that was all right.
Yeah, that's fine. So, well, I'll sort that. I'll just have to sync as we go. Okay. We'll just have to. I'll have to edit this in, but this is, brilliant. The lag just comes out of nowhere, then suddenly it's a killer.
Yeah, it doesn't last very long, just about 10 seconds.
I swear this is a new problem. I don't remember having this kind of thing happen before.
Maybe Skype's changed, I don't know. It's a bit of a nightmare. Anyway, this is, pull back the curtain. I haven't edited this bit out. Here we go.
Classic post-production Sav.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate post-production Sav.
He's a great bloke, that one.
Oh, he's a post-production Sav.
I've completely lost my train of thought. All I remember saying
we were talking
is
about
I want the whole back 5 to be
number 8.
To be number 8s, yeah.
Yeah,
and that's basically
the whole
my new
front 8 to be number 8s, and the 9 and 10 to be number 8s.
And the centre partnership to be.
You know how 7s is going, right? So 7s, basically every single player is built like a 7 or like a back
12.
Forward. Well, yeah,
basically like Justin Tipperick.
Yeah, a little
bit.
No,
Tipperick is too big to play. I mean, he could play 7.
He is quite big.
Sevens. I mean, sorry, he already plays seven. He could play sevens, but your typical guy that you want. If you had to build a sevens team, you'd have seven.
Christian Waste,
Sonny Bill Williams.
Well, it's
seven.
They all seem
that
fairly.
is what Fiji do, eh?
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. They have.
But don't Fiji play a lock as?
Yeah, they have Nakawara.
Yeah.
Nakawara. Sorry.
Nakawara.
Well, he's amazing.
Yeah. Now I know, obviously, the Lions just tore Australia, New Zealand, South Africa.
Yep.
As a that kind of thing. If rugby starts to grow in Argentina, would they ever be added to the list, do you think?
Maybe.
Because they might need another club team, to be honest with you.
I do think, I'm fair on. Is it after this year or the 2021 tour that the contract in its current state with the Sanzar Nations finishes?
They
renegotiate.
Sure. Yeah. But who do they play midweek? They're not going to play the Jaguares because they're already in the test team.
Yeah,
they're the same. Yeah, but
that's a fair point.
I understand that the
if they did, they would basically play a shit Argentina with the same players.
Yeah,
they play a B team. Yeah,
I suppose the answer is: was it in 2005 or 2009 when the Lions played Argentina in Cardiff? Because I suppose it could act as in a similar way to the Barbarians game 4 years ago in Hong Kong. Was it Hong Kong?
Yeah. Yeah, it was in Hong Kong. That would be amazing.
Daly was out there.
Your pre-tour kind of game to Argentina.
Oh yeah, that was great.
That would be absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, Daly didn't get picked for the Lions, didn't get picked for England, then got picked for the Barbarians. At which point England's centre got injured, but Lancaster could no longer call him up because he was committed.
He was in the Barbars.
Yeah,
and he
played very well.
And he played what? Didn't he score?
I think so.
I think he scored over Yard.
He scored against. I'm pretty sure he scored against us in the match before they went out there as well.
I think.
I'm pretty sure Daly did really well against England. Yeah, wearing his Wolf socks.
He may have gone or dummied Yard or something. I think
that doesn't sound too difficult. To be fair, I think at this stage I could dummy Yard.
Oh dear.
I mean,
maybe
Furlong. Was it Furlong? Yeah, Furlong did step Cipriani yesterday.
No,
Cipriani had an awful game.
No, Furlong. It was a prop.
Yeah, it was definitely... No, was it... Furlong sounds right. Cipriani played terribly.
Did he?
I think he tended to buckle very badly under pressure.
I think that's why they have Gopov kicking as well.
Yeah.
To kind of get rid of that. But considering the backline they've got... If he doesn't play at his top level, they can just drop him. They put Gopov back to 10 and play Heisman.
Yeah, to be honest,
it's such an all play Beale at 12.
Is it
Leula. No, he's gone to Bristol, or he's going to Bristol. Is he not?
All right.
Bristol took the kicking rights away from Woodward the other day.
Oh, really?
Because he wasn't doing very well.
Which one's Woodward?
Woodward is the guy that was at the Hurricanes.
Yeah, Kiwi, or he came from New Zealand anyway. He was carrying them somewhat this season. Well, not carrying them, but he was one of the better players anyway.
Did he play for the Rebels before that? I think he played for Melbourne. Came back to New Zealand, didn't quite do as well as he could have for the Hurricanes because he came into basically the Super Rugby winning team. And then he moved to Bristol, and he's been the star player since he arrived.
Yeah, but I mean, last time, when he was at the Canes, that the centres were their weakest point.
They were. But he's a 15.
They're quite good this season. They're not amazing though, because I mean, Matt Proctor's still playing, and Lamampe, I've forgotten how you say his name.
Yeah, I'm confused why they don't play Geordie Barrett at 12 and Milner Scudder at 15.
Well, Scudder's injured.
Is he injured again? Oh, I didn't know that.
Scudder's been injured he's been injured.
Geordie Barrett has been on every single highlight reel I've seen.
So I've been watching, week in, week out, and Barrett has Geordie Barrett, that is, So there's a definite change in style. Bowden is not taking it to the line as much for the Canes anymore. Not to say he won't do it for New Zealand, but he's definitely playing distributor to his brother and distributor to Asso and distributor to the others a lot more than he was last year. Last year he was just a force on his own.
Can we tangented a bit? Just to go back slightly.
Yeah.
If the Lions were to play Argentina in a one-off or a leg of another tour, because at the moment there's not really the depth there to field a proper full tour, where would they play? In Argentina, or would they play somewhere else for an exhibition or testimonial? Would they?
It would either be in Argentina, maybe in South Africa.
Well, the reason I ask is because the last game, I'm fairly sure, was in Cardiff. So,
but that's a bit shit. I think the Lions have to be away.
Yeah, they could play it in France.
It's almost too cheap for a Lions fan to go to Cardiff.
Yeah,
I think they'd have to ship a Samoan team or a New Zealand Maori team or something to Argentina.
Yeah, this is, again, because the whole, as I say, contract negotiations, I'm sure, are going to be happening either after this tour or the next one. Mm-hmm. And I suppose there is, along with the prestige and the privileges of what the Lions entails for players on either side, and how it's 12 years between each tour for any particular nation to have. And so throwing Argentina in there, that could potentially bump it up to
16 years.
16. Maybe I think it would be quite interesting if perhaps maybe 1 year. I don't know how they'd work it out. I don't know how it would be organised, and maybe it would have to be for some special anniversary or occasion. But do you ever think it would work if having the 3 test matches of the Lions tour be the first against Australia or South Africa, the second against South Africa or Australia, and the third against New Zealand, and maybe Argentina could precede the 3 of them
as the midweek game?
As
not as a midweek,
as a Lions tour to the entire hemisphere.
As a 4th test, but
I don't think there's a
three.
point, because if you
the 2 midweek games, Japan and
New
Argentina.
Zealand, imagine the scenario where the Lions beat South Africa and Australia.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They arrived to beat New Zealand, but they've won the series against a team they've not played.
Yeah. Well, no, I suppose I get where you're coming from, but I'm thinking maybe it wouldn't count as a one series. Maybe I'm just thinking more as a
massive exhibition. I don't think
exactly.
Where would we do it? Where would it be held? Here, where's this massive exhibition that it's going to be one of the biggest adverts?
Singapore.
That happened.
No, yeah, you'd have to have
Singapore,
Dubai, Singapore, and Japan. There we go.
Dubai,
that's
so shit. Come on.
Dubai.
Hong Kong, Singapore, and Japan.
I
think Hong Kong would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But too hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were. I swear they were.
Singapore's not a bad option. I mean, I get the jokes about filling stadiums and things.
Yeah. Or how about this? They play one match in Tonga, one match in Samoa, one match in Fiji.
No, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing. Yeah, that would be cool. And I think the boys would love to tour around the islands. Because Pacific Islands are just beautiful anyway. So they would have to spend a full week though. We couldn't have them island hopping.
It could be interesting as
a week on each island sort of thing.
It could be interesting as an Australia tour. So in 8 years, you go. So I think So the way I would do it, is in 4 years. South Africa, they would play Argentina over there in South Africa, or in Argentina. So either before the Test series or maybe as part of the tour.
Yeah.
So instead of playing a shit team like the Cheetahs, they would go there, play the Stormers, the Sharks, and the Lions.
Yeah.
And the Jaguares.
So not the Kings. What do you have against the Kings?
You're not going to play the Kings. What's the point of a 64-0 win? No, seriously.
Well, the Stormers just beat the Cheetahs.
I'm hoping the Kings will be a lot better in 4 years, and I think they will be.
Will they be a team in the next 4 years?
I don't think they'll exist in 4 years.
Yeah, they might not. But let's be optimistic and say they'll be a lot better. But still, against the Lions, then there's not really a point. So you would play like 3 or 4 of the provinces, and they could play the Jaguares in South Africa because they're technically a South African team.
In the conference.
Well, in the conference, yeah, that's what I mean. Over there in South Africa, and then you'd play the 3 tests. That would be quite fun.
They could have the best thing they could do is, if they this is the best thing then. If they're touring South Africa, they need to have some kind of, on the way there, some of the countries slightly north, like Madagascar, for instance, while would be terrible opposition, I'm sure, are absolutely rugby mad. And you could probably, in the same way that 4 years ago there was the New South Wales and Queensland combined country 15 or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
You could have...
Which was 64-0.
Something like that. Was it a nil?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind. But you could have, get some of the players from the smaller nations who have rugby as their first sport, and have it as like a midweek game. So you'd have
like a Monday night game.
Exactly. It's because I'm sure there are some players that just absolutely not going to make a test team, and
some teams call it a run through.
It's just I think it would be quite interesting. Have them come for training or a captain's run or something, just to.
What we've basically devolved this podcast into is, what the fuck can we do to really mess up the Lions? No. What can we do to make the rugby calendar more interesting? Yeah, not necessarily, interesting.
I think you're missing what touring would be as a club team and what the Lions are.
For the two seasons either side of the Lions tour, Northern Hemisphere seasons, we would cut it down to half the game, so they'd only do 1 leg home, 1 leg away. So the first season they do home, the next season they do away, or vice versa, meaning there'd be less domestic rugby for the teams to play, meaning there would be more time for the players, the international players, to have their training and gelling together as a team and selections. I've just solved all of World Rugby's problems. I'm waiting for my check right now. Also, I can hear the audio's gone fucked up already, so I don't know whether you're actually speaking now.
I'm just hearing a robot. It's brilliant.
This is so fucking bad. Oh, Jesus. Could we be any more amateurish doing this?
It's just infuriating, is what it is. It's absolutely infuriating.
Fred, can you hear either of us?
Fred.
No, you're back to normal now.
Back to normal. Oh.
Fred's back.
No. I was listening to the 2 robots.
I can just you're coming through all broken and staticky, but I can still just about get what you're saying. But if I am coming through completely unintelligible,
it's the exact same. I got everything you said.
Oh, did you? That's all right.
Yeah. When you listen to the podcast the last podcast we uploaded, me and CC are just sitting here in disbelief as you sound like a robot. You're now hearing what we could hear.
Okay, here's the thing. I'm not using Audacity at the moment, which means my laptop is under considerably less stress than it was otherwise. Yeah. And so I don't think, granted, my laptop is a massive piece of shit, but I don't think this is entirely my fault.
So we just going to blame Skype?
I think something has gone wrong, fundamentally, with the internet. And...
You sound like Jen from the IT crowd. Like, somebody has got the internet, and they're fucking with it. Okay? We need to look after the internet,
That's the best. Of course it doesn't have any wires. It's wireless.
It's been upgraded. Yeah.
Love that. Okay, my point was that if we shorten the 2 seasons either side, you can make the Lions even more spectacular. Do it for their 200th anniversary
let's play
71
like 10
years.
club games and then just play Lions every 2 years.
Isn't the 200th anniversary in 50 years?
No, it's because they had... Oh, wait, no, because surely they just had their 125th when we toured
Or was it 125th? Yeah, all right, so in 75 years then.
Barbars are having their 125th this year.
Wait, what?
The Barbarians are having their 125th anniversary this year. So the Lions are 4 years older than the Barbarians.
See, I think the Barbarians are really the exhibition team.
They are.
That's the team that you can send anywhere and they will... It's like the Harlem Globetrotters,
Well, yeah. The Lions is more... I mean, if you remember, 50 years ago, the Lions used to spend months touring, and I think if you go even further back, they spent a couple of years touring.
Couple of years.
Might be a bit wrong, but you get the gist.
I love it. Just like
it's wrong by 18 months.
Most of the English like club players are just out on the tour, lashed every single week. Loving it.
Oh. Also,
if you go for 2 years, I consider that moving out, not touring.
you're that's like a gap year at that point, isn't it? That's like a full on like you've moved. You're now living and working somewhere else.
Relocated for work, having a secondment or something in a different location.
Oh, here we go. Talking of moving around and expanding markets. There was a poster. I don't know if you saw the post. Ackerman from the Lions is going to Gloucester.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And when this story broke, I think yesterday, 2 days ago, there was a poster that said, "Can't the Northern Hemisphere train any of their own coaches or something? Do they have to steal all our talent all the time?" Which it makes sense.
It's fair when you talk about Kiwi coaches, comment. But South Africans really.
There's been a big exodus of the Southern Hemisphere, right? There's a lot of players coming up here, and they're earning money and they're playing good rugby, and it's great to watch for us. But in the same respect, I did comment this at the time. There's at least a minimum of 26 really good top tier teams just between England and France. Mm. There's then 4 good teams in Ireland. There's at least 1 top tier team in Scotland. I mean, Edinburgh's budget's not that bad.
Yeah, but if you're a top coach, Edinburgh is an interesting job.
Yeah.
So
there's lots of.
You can consider 12 jobs, and then without even considering Pro D2, you've got the 14, the 12, and the 12. Right.
There's a lot of clubs. I don't think the Pro 12... So, say we cut 2 of the Welsh teams and the 2 Italian teams.
No, you don't cut them.
No, as being options. I think
the Dragons... There are 38 quality potential jobs in Europe. There are 15 in the Southern Hemisphere. South
Africa,
18,
Australia.
18 if you consider Japan to be Southern Hemisphere, which it isn't. 18. So that's a difference of 20 jobs.
Yeah.
Plus the national jobs.
Plus the national team, and the idea that some of those some of the Northern Hemisphere teams, for example, the 2 Italian teams and maybe 1 or 2 of the Welsh provinces, not amazing. But then you've also got down south, you've got the Kings, Sunwolves, and you're looking at. The Blues have got Tano Umunga anyway. They're not actually a bad team. They're just kind of a bit strange. Then you've got the Force, the Rebels, who are looking to get better, but they're now, we don't know whether they're even going to exist. There's all these weird things that are happening down south, and it's just easier for a coach to go, look at all these options I've got up north. I'm going up north. I'm not going to mess around with all the chaos that's happening in the south. Even if it's better rugby, why would they bother?
And in a coaching career, you want to experience other things as well. In the same way, on Rugby Tonight, they interviewed Mike Ford the other day, and they talked about try to make him say where he wanted to go next. And he basically said he could go anywhere. Like, he hinted at the south.
Oh yeah, I'm just thinking, considering how good the pure quality that does come out of New Zealand and in the past Australia. The players that were so good that they then bumped up 2 coaches. There's bound to be more of them than the comparative level of mediocrity elsewhere in the world. Absolutely. And so if they've got to find jobs for all of them, and so.
Well, here's the thing: if you believe that the Southern Hemisphere, and it is a valid point, if you believe that the Southern Hemisphere is creating a very concentrated, strong coaching player base.
Yeah.
And then suddenly it can't be a surprise when they move to the diluted pool that is the Northern Hemisphere. That's just the way that talent goes.
And surely there must be a reason they're coming to work up here, and there might just come down to the fact that they can't get the work down there.
Yeah, because there are fewer jobs and they're better teams, so obviously they're going to take the competition is higher. It's more difficult. So you get people like Matt Todd, for example, who was for quite a long time Crusaders coach, has a bit less success with the Crusaders. Boom, goes to Bath.
Yeah.
It's not surprising.
Do you mean Todd Blackadder?
Yeah, Matt Todd is the player.
Matt Todd
is the player. Yeah, I meant Todd Blackadder. Same thing.
I mean, Matt Todd's is okay.
Matt Todd is a really good 7.
I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll end on the New Zealand injury list.
It's quite long.
Which is very long. It's at the moment in terms of knocks, because these aren't all career's the wrong word.
Season.
These aren't season-ending injuries. Yeah, as Sim has delightedly told us, these boys should be back by the Lions tour, and not thing. I'm just waiting for my list to load up because the internet has been playing up.
Oh, so maybe it's your fault.
No, the internet.
That was just your admission of guilt.
I shut down everything as soon as we started talking. I was like, I'm going to shut it all down just to make sure it's right. Right, here we go. I know Ben Smith has a knock. He didn't play the last game.
Yeah.
Milner Scudder's got an injury. And Israel Dagg's also out. Although Dagg will... Israel Dagg's the one with a proper time frame because his injury is his knee or his groin, maybe? Hamstring. Anyway, his has a time frame because it's not a concussion-related thing. Sam Cane, concussion, I think. Matt Todd's taken a head knock as well. Ardy Severe came off injured at the weekend as well. So that's basically the positions that are injured at the moment are 15 and 7. Those are the real... they're not entirely sure that everybody's ready to play. I think... Did Crotty take an injury? I think Crotty took an injury as well. So, I mean... There's just a whole load of New Zealand players that are just a little bit injured right now. Has the internet died, or are you guys still there?
Well, now I can hear you.
Whenever you go robot, I just stop talking so that you can finish.
Yep.
Okay.
Same.
Ideal. Dane Coles is out. Liam Squire's out. Kieran Reid's got wrist surgery. Fafita's damaged his ankle ligaments. Charlie Nartai's still out.
Kieran Reid really only needs one hand to be world class.
Yeah.
Seta Tamani Valu. Sapawanga's injured. Nahalo's got hamstring injury. There's
which doctor time?
Which doctor for the hamstring? It's
maybe
harder
some
for
milk as well.
Brad Webber's gone, so the third choice. He's probably fourth choice actually because TKV's above him. But Brad Webber's injured as well. Squire, Nartai, Luala. The injury list is quite extensive. Sonny Bill Williams is coming back.
I genuinely cannot wait to see him play. I do really, really hope he gets selected to play against the Lions. I know centre could be a hotly contested position for them, but I think on his day he's just too good to not include.
We know Hansen likes him.
Yeah.
Right? We know Hansen likes him. At the moment, I gave my list of currently alive players. They're non-injured, New Zealand. So my backline, and this was briefly discussed with Sim, Cruden at 10, Sonny Bill Williams 12, Anton Leonard-Brown 13, Sevilla on the wing, Lowe on the other wing, and then
going Sevilla, huh?
Bowden Barrett at 15.
Has his form gotten back to a...
he's trucking through people again.
Oh, is he? Oh, good show.
Yeah, I mean, he's not... Yeah, he's always a threat. And he's doing well. But I think I don't think Lowe will be picked.
I'd keep Barrett at 10 as well.
What, right? No, because you can't, because they don't have any 15s. They'd have to play Mackenzie at 15.
Yeah, not a problem.
But if you've got Cruden... I mean, Cruden and Lowe, the thing is, Cruden and Lowe are both moving, right? They're off. So whether Hansen will pick them, it remains to be seen, because they're both leaving.
I think Cruden will make the squad. Lowe, I don't know, probably.
Well, Lowe, the problem
Where's Lowe going? Is he going to Quins?
He's going to Leinster.
Oh.
But he's not been capped. and he's not.
He's not been capped. Okay, yeah, no chance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's the thing. But whether Hansen wants to cap him before he goes to Ireland, because if he stays in Ireland for 3 years or 4 years, he can then play for Ireland, which is beyond a joke, really, but it's possible.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's 3 or 5 years. I'm not sure on the exact.
It's 36 months.
But it's just one of these things where you look at it and go, this boy is a Kiwi through and through. If he ends up playing for Ireland, it would be a joke. So I wouldn't be surprised if Hansen just gave him a game. Just to put that cap on him, especially as they've got injuries anyway. And it's not like he's a weak spot.
No, definitely not a weak spot.
So, I mean, yeah, we'll see. The New Zealand... I think they're in for... not a shock, but the fact that Kane, Sevilla, and Matt Todd, that's three really world-class sevens that are injured right there. And
wait,
obviously
Sevilla is injured?
Ardy Sevilla, yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, it's not
I
like
thought he was
got
in. I saw him play last week. Did he?
Yeah,
get injured
he got injured in that game. Yeah.
Oh, right.
He, I don't know if they've come out and said how bad it was, but yeah, he got injured.
He was playing 8 as well, which is interesting.
Yeah. And also there was an Australian poster that was telling me that Hooper is the best 7 in the world.
I don't know, but like,
what's going on with Pocock at the moment?
He's off. He's on sabbatical, isn't he?
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, he's running the world.
He's farming,
saving the world.
Whatever.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I've just found a GIF recipe that you sent ages ago.
Oh, what, the low fat Oreo milkshake?
Yeah, I don't believe anything's low fat if it's an Oreo milkshake.
That post was submitted on April 1st. The guy did it himself.
Oh, okay.
And it's watching the whole thing through is just amazing.
Okay, okay, I get it now. I didn't realise. I looked at it and went, low calorie Oreo milkshake.
Okay, just for anyone who hadn't seen it and feels like wanting it to be described, he crushes in a whole pack of Oreos, Oreo Pop-Tart, an Oreo cupcake, some Oreo Thins, some double stuffed Oreos, I think a block of cream cheese.
No, you don't think, you know.
I'm sure I'm forgetting a few others, but it's magical.
Oh my god, yeah, I just watched it now. Okay, so yeah.
Oh yeah, one last thing I just thought of. Talk about Hurricanes number 8. Victor Vito is being enormous at La Rochelle.
Has he?
Absolutely incredible. He's on fire.
Good.
He is making a difference.
Who did La Rochelle just beat?
Everyone.
Oh, right. That's quite good of them.
They're top of the table. I can't remember who they beat last, but top of the table. And the gap is getting wider.
Oh.
Which is incredible. Oh, now I think about it, another team that plays with 3 number 8s.
Sav?
Yep.
I've just opened up my laptop, and
Yeah.
Skype has put up a warning saying it's flicking between your microphone seems to be working fine, and there is a problem with your sound card.
Oh, Ed, this is
So
all you, man.
I think
This
it's
is
my
all
fault.
you. It's all you.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I just can't. Right, it might have to be. We're gonna have to sync on the way out. I think we've done about 5 syncs.
I think we're going to be okay.
All about 15 minutes apart.
I think we're going to be okay. Right, shall we say?
Fine.
I agree. I think it's going to be fine. I think it's going to be all right. Right, can we go 3, 2, 1, last sync?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Allez les
Last
bleus.
sync.
Okay, that we'll have to do as an absolute right. Ed said "Allez le bleu" as the last sync. Okay, I'm just reminding post-production Sav because he will be pissed off.
I'm sorry.
At this point,
I'm gonna
He's about an hour in and he's fuming right now.
Right.
At least
Right,
you're
so
sounding good
post-production
spirits.
Fred is going to go out and buy food.
Do we want to talk about Reddit RFC?
What, as part of the podcast or just...
I can be part of the pod if you want. Right, so we're planning on doing something.
Yeah.
Oh, is it back on the pod?
Wait,
on
are
the
we?
sub? I've not seen it.
Yeah.
This isn't the pod. Please
No,
tell me this
should
isn't the
not be
pod.
All right, let's stop recording then, so it's not actually
Okay.
a
Right.
pod. Because at the moment,
Just quickly. The Welsh are the worst. They're terrible. Yay. Yeah, fair enough.
it's still in mine.
That's fine. Mine too.
Oh no, Ed, stop. Now Halfpenny didn't do it. Come on now.